Hehe, look at that. I got a driver's license and you don't. Guess how much it cost me though. What? Honey, there's no way you paid this much. Since that day, whenever my boyfriend got a chance, he'd pull it out, smile at me with this huge grin in his face, and would rub his license under my nose. This had to stop. I needed a driver's license as well. And I knew I could be better than Wally, getting my license for way less money than he did, and finally get him to shut up. But looking back, I still made some pretty dumb mistakes that you can easily fix. So I thought of giving some tips along the way so you can save yourself some trouble. Before you even get started with driving school, the best preparation you can do from today on is keeping a keen eye on the traffic, when, for example, somebody else is driving you. This helped me a lot with my spatial awareness and intuition. But mostly my confidence, as getting a driver's license is really intimidating at first. There's a ton you have to keep in mind. First, the theory lessons, then attending a first aid course, test your eyesight, deal with the bureaucracy to get a permission to take a theory test, pass that theory test, survive driving lessons, and finally your driving exam. And as if that isn't enough, there's a good chance that this whole process might bankrupt you, at least in Germany. What do you mean Americans pay $100 on average? $100? That's nothing. I can't even afford theory lessons for $100. And if you haven't already gathered some driving experience by, I don't know, playing some GTA as a kid, the amount of money you're gonna spend for additional driving lessons is gonna skyrocket. Let's stick to theory lessons first though. I had to complete 12 lessons, each lasting 90 minutes, and every session covered a different topic. We learned everything about driving that could possibly be important. From human abilities to behavior on the road, everything was taught. Honestly, it was boring. But to be fair, I studied the theory even before these lessons started. Why am I such a nerd? As you already know, my boyfriend got his driver's license a short time ago, and he passed both the theory as well as the driving exam on his first go with a perfect score, of course. And since then he's been such a pain in the ass and would not stop bragging about it. So my motivation to study, even before class, was on point. In hindsight, this motivation did more harm than good. You're gonna see later how I almost fucked up my results. Our driving instructor, he really tried his best to keep our attention during theory lessons, though it got fairly interesting when it came to really weird rules. The most ridiculous of them all is how everyone has to drive Schrittgeschwindigkeit, at walking speed, when passing a bus with hazard lights on a bus stop, no matter which side of the road it's on. And it doesn't matter if the speed limit is like 50 kilometers per hour, or even higher, you technically still have to slam these brakes. And if the bus has its hazard lights on and is moving, you're not allowed to overtake it, at all. But, to be honest, no one really follows, or even knows this rule in Germany. I mean, you could walk up to any random dude on the streets, ask them about it, and they'd be like, huh? Nah, you're joking. That can't be true. So you will probably cause an accident if you actually follow that rule. Chances are high that the car behind you, it's like gonna crash right into you. After completing the theory lessons, I already paid 500 euros. Ah, that hurts. These 500 euros include all of the theory lessons, plus learning material, aka a book and an app. To be honest, I can't really tell you what's included in the book. I didn't open it once. I spent a lot of time in the app though, and I advise you to do the same. To be admitted to the test, I had to go through fucking 1,168 questions first, and pass a few practice tests. That took a while. I spent countless bus rides to college, grinding through multiple choice tasks. And I bet you can solve this. So, we got a car coming from the opposite direction, a biker on our right, and we want to turn left. Are we allowed to turn first, or do we have to wait for the car? Do we have to wait at the intersection? I'll give you 1 second. Got it? If there were no traffic lights, we of course have to wait for the biker, since he's on our right. Rechts vor links. And we have to wait for the car as well, because oncoming traffic has the right of way, since we're crossing their path. So when we add back the traffic lights, we still have to wait for the car, right? I wish it was that easy. Didn't you see this little arrow hiding in the back? It basically tells us that everyone else in this junction has a red light, and we're the boss around here that gets to turn first. Okay, last one. You're driving 30 kilometers per hour and you have 1 second reaction time. How far is the stopping distance? Yep, they sneaked a little bit of math in here as well. You done? Okay, now you gotta give me some attention. The stopping distance is the addition of reaction distance and braking distance. According to the rule of thumb, the reaction distance is the speed in kilometers per hour divided by 10 times 3, and the braking distance is the square of speed in kilometers per hour divided by 10. In our case, both are equal to 9 meters. So in conclusion, the stopping distance is 80 meters. Yeah, you got it. I sweated those questions in about 1 week before my theory lessons even began. I told you I was motivated. And after answering about 1200 questions correctly, at least once, I unlocked the practice exams. Woohoo! Like the real theory exam, they contain 30 questions, including some out of every topic. Every question has like 2 to 5 points. And in order to pass the exam, you're allowed to fail a maximum out of 10 points. And surprisingly, my first theory exam, I had 0 mistakes. I was super happy and overly motivated to take the real exam as soon as possible. And that was where I learned I had to take a first aid course first and had to go to the office to get a test order. I was crushed. I knew it usually takes ages in Germany to get an office appointment. Before I could even apply for an appointment, I had to take the 6 hours long first aid course, where they also tested if my eyesight is good enough for driving. Well, I will only be allowed to drive with glasses, but I saw that coming, or didn't I? I got the documents and took the next best appointment I could get. What? I have to wait 3 weeks? And I even have to pay a processing fee for that? As well as an exam fee? Seriously? 3 weeks later, I went to the appointment and got a theory exam date the following week. Yay! During that process, I was already taking driving lessons, but I'll dedicate another video solely talking about my driving experience. Fast forward, the day before my exam, I was sitting on my couch taking a few last practice exams. You remember how I got 0 mistakes right after learning all those questions, right? Well, turns out I forgot a lot of them. Throughout the last month, I of course had taken some practice exams, and I passed most of them, but some questions, they rarely show up. That's why I can't remember them. I mean, it's been a month since I learned those about 1200 questions on the fly, which, as we all know from experience, is not the best method to remember things long term. So my test results, they got worse and worse over time, sometimes failing with like 20 plus penalty points. All I could do now was pray that I won't get a question I only saw once in the beginning. I was really nervous shortly before I took my exam. According to statistics, about half of the candidates, they don't even pass it. And I had to get a perfect score? Otherwise Wally will nag me for the rest of my life. I gotta log in. I mean, he only had 1 perfect practice exam, and he was able to get a perfect score too. How hard can it be? 10 minutes into the exam, I saw the first person get up and leave the room. They already failed? The longer I sat there, trying to answer every question carefully, the more people I saw leaving, with their heads hanging down. There's no way they all did not pass. Only a couple of them left the room happily. It stressed the hell out of me. I took about half an hour for the entire exam, because you definitely should check every question twice. Eventually, I took a deep breath and clicked submit. And of course, the screen was loading criminally slow until the result page appeared. Finally.
Every journey is a circle turning in squares.
What? Ridiculous.
You can't square the circle. Infinite Eternity by...
All right, you can skip now! Man.
I hectically scanned the whole page to find my score, and there it was. 0 mistakes. Get it? Those 24 hours I spent in the app studying, they paid off? I was so happy. But the best part is yet to come. Next time, I'll tell you about my driving experience, featuring the legendary German Autobahn, and of course, my driving exam. So excited.